but think about how you can make as much money. What can I do today to start helping me do that? Upskilling is a great way in order to do that. And I know that I definitely make sure that I upskill every single year.
Yeah.
I call it my hibernation period from November to February. Don't ask me to come out. I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to do anything. The weather is nasty anyway. I'm going to be indoors and I'm going to upskill myself in some way, shape or form.
Yeah.
So that when we come round to March,
hello,
I have upskilled in this.
Yeah.
What can this do to help me, progress? Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Advice with Alex and Friends podcast. I'm your host Alex and I'm joined by my beautiful co-host Novella.
Hi guys.
And we're going to get back into our money conversation. I feel like lots of people say you shouldn't do this with money, you should do this with money, but nobody ever really gives you the tips on how to be better with money.
Yeah.
And so using my kind of life experience, I'm definitely going to be really transparent in this episode, and I know that you're going to do the same.
100.
Because we want you to make the right decisions in terms of money. Like 2024 is your year to boss up financially.
Word.
So if I was to take it all the way back to the Beningin,
To the Beningin.
my focus would be to make as much money as I possibly can, because I know that that opens up doors for me. And if you're in a career, that could be looking at getting a promotion within that career. But it all depends on how much earning potential that career has. So I know that for me, I was in teaching prior to. I was like, well, the ceiling is pretty low here. The bar is low. I need to move out in order for me to be able to make more money. And so that's what I did. I left teaching. I moved into project management. I didn't take a pay cut, thank God. And I've continued to develop my salary, and that makes a massive difference. It gives you that piece, and it took sacrifice. It took sacrifice in order to do that. There were lots of times when I had to say no to certain things because I was focused. I was like, I don't have time to be concerned with what's going on outside. I'm trying to change my life. I'm trying to make more money.
100%.
That was my concern. Like the last couple of years, I can't lie, I definitely haven't been as involved as I was prior to, because I needed to change my life. So that's definitely one thing that I would say. And obviously it takes time, it's a process, but think about how you can make as much money. What can I do today to start helping me do that? Upskilling is a great way in order to do that. And I know that I definitely make sure that I upskill every single year.
Yeah.
I call it my hibernation period from November to February. Don't ask me to come out. I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to do anything. The weather is nasty anyway. I'm going to be indoors and I'm going to upskill myself in some way, shape or form.
Yeah.
So that when we come round to March,
hello,
I have upskilled in this.
Yeah.
What can this do to help me, progress?
Yeah.
But that would be my beginning. What would your beginning be?
My beginning will, when it came, I struggled a little bit. As much as I say I was a good saver, so to speak, I could have definitely have done more to help save in those instances. I also really, I kind of felt like I used to stay in situations because I got comfortable. So when I was saving, when I first started like in the work world and everything like that, I would save, let's say, I think I started off with saving like £50 a month. That's literally exactly what I started off with. And I was like, okay, cool. And as the years kind of go on, you're like, okay, it needs to increase. Yeah. Like you really need to increase. And I was somebody probably that got a little bit comfortable, like with like thinking that £50 a month was enough for savings. And then it was only probably when I turned about 24 or 25, which I felt was quite late, when I was just like, actually, it kind of hit me when I was just like, no, I need to be saving a lot more than this. And so, like you said, it was like kind of, okay, looking at, I need to change my jobs. Like, you get to a point where it's nice to see, because you get to a point where you're like, okay, I want to be leveling up now. Like, I've done my baby girl era, like, yeah, I'm a baby girl, I'm thinking, but it's just like, now things are getting serious. So I think that's when I was just like, okay, I need to change careers, because then I need to be saving a little bit more. And then as you get older as well, other things start as like outgoings that start happening. And so it's just like, what is my non-negotiable? And my non-negotiable was every single month, no matter how tough that month was, I had to put money away. And how I did that is that at the beginning of every single month, and I still do that till now, I put away, there is a non-negotiable. That money must exit my thingy, and it must not be touched. It must not. I hear people that sometimes say, you know, well, I'll wait until the end of the month and see what's left, and then whatever's left, then I put it. But I feel like, hold yourself accountable at the beginning and say that once that money's gone, it's gone. It is not, and that money for me, it's not touched. It's like gold dust. You will not even touch it. And I started looking at, okay, you know, every single year, what I would look at is just like, I like to push myself and to say, okay, this year, okay, I've done £100. Okay, next year it will be 120. Next year it will be 140. Until you get to that point where I say, okay, this is a bit of a squeeze now. So now I feel like I need more money. So then it's looking at, okay, either changing jobs, or like you saying, what is it that I need to do to level up maybe in the career that I am, or the thing. And I had that, I think, a couple of years ago, when it was just like I was at a bit of a crossroads in kind of what I wanted to do with my career. And I was just like, I wanted something that was a little bit more general within HR, that I could then, if I wanted to, it could create different avenues. And that's why I went into projects, because it doesn't limit me to one thing. Like, if I can project manage in HR, I can project manage, for me in my head, I can project manage anything. So it's just kind of making those sorts of decisions, I think, when it came to money as well.
I agree with the direct debit. So I have a direct debit, and I have for a while set up to take my money to various things, to the high interest savings account, to I've also got a stocks and shares ISA, and I just buy the same. So there's 3. They're called I think is it ETFs?
Yes, I have that.
Yeah, so I have 3 ETFs that I buy every single month. It's the same ones. And
that's a good one to buy the same ones. I should do that.
I do the same ones every single month. I did do my research in terms of which ones were going to be the best. These ones are all linked to the S&P 500.
Okay, cool.
Please don't ask me what the S&P 500 is. Google it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it myself, but they're all linked to that. Yes. And there's one that's the cheaper one of the 3. Yeah. And so every 2 months, I just buy that one again. Yes. So there's money allocated to all 3. Yeah. And then there'll always be money left over. Okay. And then every 2 months, I just buy another one of that one.
That makes a lot of sense.
So I'm just using that pot. Yeah. That's there. And if I need to top it up, then I'll top it up. And doing things that way. And I see that as a reward. To me, I've trained my mind for that money that goes into investing. It's the same as me spending money on a holiday. It's the same as me spending money on a nice, purchase. That's how I've trained my mind to see it that way. Yeah. Because there are people, it's so funny, because I remember like last summer, somebody making comments about like some of the things that people are wearing in terms of like, whether it be designer or whatever. And I just thought, you are so, like, your mind frame is not in the mind frame that I don't care. When I speak to somebody, I don't care about the things in which you are necessarily wearing. I care about what you are doing. That's the stage that I'm in my life. When I'm comfortable in my the amount of money that I have, then I will start to inquire. When I know I can make these purchases, I will be asking you about this. I'll be asking you about that. And of course, you can still ask, because of future thinking, at some point you are going to get to that stage. But I don't care about things like that. I genuinely don't care about what things are, the things that people are wearing and honestly. All that stuff. I want to know how you are investing your money. Is it something that I can do as well in order to help me? And I made it very clear that I was going to build up my emergency fund. And then once I had my emergency fund, then I started to branch out and continue that and increase, like you said, increase the amount of money that I was putting away each month. And it makes me really happy.
Me too.
I'm like, yeah, this money can go. Like, if that means that somebody, and it makes it easier for me to say no to things, because like, actually this isn't in my budget this month.
No. So 100%. And that's what I love working with. I love working with, this is it. Once I've taken out that, mortgage has come out, bills have come out, car finance payments have come out, thinking I know exactly what I'm left with, and that money, that's it. Because for me, once it's done, it's done. Like I said, there is no way I'm going to my emergency fund and touching it. It's not happening. So I've got to make it work. And I said, you know, if it gets to a point then where I'm start feeling a little bit like I am now, I feel like I've been on the same salary for about a year. And for about a year, and now it's funny, every year I feel like I go through the same thing. I feel like in my head I say, I can only stay on the same salary for like 18 months or something like that before I start pinching people. I say over a year. I like to give people over a year, but then it's like it's coming up to that time now where I'm like, actually, like we need to, like I've done the same routine for the last year, so it's just like, well, no, I need to level up because there's other things coming. Like I want to start a family. So I have to start thinking about things like that. It's just like, well, the money that I have now, if I had a child now, would that be able to stretch? Would it be a bit of a push? So those things now I've got to be like, okay, cool. So like you said, now it's my time where it's just like, I'm taking projects left, right and center. Alex knows when I've been telling her, I've been working some ridiculous hours recently. Not in vain, but I know where I'm going with this. Like you said, this is my hibernation season. I'm only coming out to help record Alex. Anybody else, forget about it. Don't ask me. Alex is the only person I'm saying yes to for at least half of this year. Don't ask me to come out. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Because then you're right. Then it's just like, okay, now I need something else. There's another life event that I want or I'm aspiring for. So what can I do now for? So it's just like, well, you've got to have honest conversations around that. Yeah,
I agree. And get comfortable with delayed gratification. Get comfortable with making short-term sacrifices. Get comfortable with you know, the idea that it's okay to not do certain things right now, but they're not going to pass me by. I'm going to be able to do them bigger and better later on. Like right now, so for example, I have on my credit card, I have 2 credit cards because one of them unfortunately doesn't get accepted everywhere. So I've got my backup cards, which I do use, and both of them are points reward systems. And in my mind, I'm like, I want to get enough points to the point where I can either pay for a holiday, as in pay for the flight, or pay to upgrade or something like that. So I haven't traveled for a while now, but I'm actually not fazed by the fact I haven't traveled because it's cool. I know I'm going to travel. Like either because it's free, because I've accumulated all these points, like things like that, you know, making things, all the things that I'm doing at the moment, making it pay off in that way. So I'm 100%. I'm just going to echo exactly what you've just said. I'm 100% with you on that. It's just like, I think sometimes when it comes to money and finances, like let's be real. There are some times where you cannot afford to do certain things. 100%. When there were, even till now, right? You know, we're saving for a wedding. You know, the whole of last year, apart from, we did a little small, I think it was like a weekend trip. Like there's certain things we really had to sacrifice quite a lot of things, and I'm not saying that it's just for like events that happen in your life, but just generally, sometimes, like I remember years ago, right, me and my partner will be like, we've got a joint account, and we're like, okay, this is the money that we have. We try and put money in the account every month to say this is like our going out fund and stuff like that. And there were months, because there were other more important saving stuff,
we couldn't do that. So it's just like, well, if we can't put money in there, that means we can't. And it's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. There's certain sacrifices, like you say, you have to make. And I'm with you around the points thing as well. It's just like I've done, again, Alex like told me about some things, and when Alex speaks, I always listen. Alex is my financial advisor. When Alex speaks, I listen. I don't delay. I was on it. When she sent me out everything, I was just like, don't worry, got it. And you're right. So now I'm like, okay, well, you know, when we're looking at like honeymoons or whatever, like those are the stuff now. I'm like, oh my God, this might be really enjoyable. We might be able to upgrade. And we will appreciate that so much more. Yes. So much more. 100%. And we'll look back and be like, okay, cool, you know. But yeah, no, those are the things, like I get really excited because I'm like, oh yeah, we're just saving up so much points, and like I'm just like it could. The way I'm quick to even I've changed where I do things. Yes. So where I get my nails done, they accept card. Yes. Where I get my hair done, they accept card. Where I get my car clean, card. All these places, if you tell me cash, sorry. No. I'm not giving you cash. No, I need to take card because I need to make my points. I'm that person now that when we go out to dinner, I'm like, let me pay everyone's dinner. You can send me the money. Yeah. I am that person now. Like anything. My mum knows me. My mum always laughs at me because like when stuff happens in the house, I'm like, it's okay. I can pay. Do they take card? And stuff. But you're right. It's just those little things because I'm like, I get really excited because I'm like, oh my God, this could be really, really beneficial, yeah. And credit cards are good if you can use them wisely. You know, if you're going to use them to pay for your essential things, your travel, food. And when I say food, I mean food that like is essential. I'm not saying to splurge on 100%. Going to fancy restaurants when you know you can't afford it, right? If you use the money for those things and you just pay it back straight away, get into the habit of paying things back straight away, then credit cards are a brilliant thing. They're going to help you build up your credit. Yeah. You can use them to get points. You can use them to get discounts on things. Yeah. There are some accounts even have like reward systems. I know Barclays has like a Barclays reward. Yeah. And if you have 2 direct debits that come out, they pay you like £5 a month. Like you pay £5 a month, but you get the £5 back a month, and then you get access to some of the other benefits as well. So it's important to utilize, which even reviewing your current account, is the current account that you have at the moment still the best one for you? Because I know loads of people just are like, oh, well, I'm a Santander babe, I'm a Lloyd's babe, I'm a this babe, I'm going to continue. Is that account still serving you? Is there better on the market? I totally agree. And just to your point around credit cards as well, like when I got I have had one credit card for years, and then I got a new one, and you're right, and then my credit score again just went up, and it actually, getting the second credit card actually increased my first credit card's credit limit. And like you said as well, know which credit cards to use for what. I would only use my points-based credit card when I know I'm going to pay this off straight away, because the interest on it is ridiculously high. It is ridiculous. Like, I'm not messing about, but I have my second credit card where the interest is fairly low for maybe a big purchase where I know I'm going to be paying off monthly, maybe for 3 months, then I would use that one. But the points-based one, that is for, like, like that money is going in and out today, at close of business today, to cover it, because I'm not that's one I'm not leaving as well. So know when it's appropriate, I guess, to use whichever credit card too. Yeah, no, I agree. When I came to you with advice regarding you know, making certain financial decisions, what made you say I'm gonna go for it? Because I could have said it to you. You could have been like, oh, you know. I mean, you never steer me wrong. Okay, fair enough. You never ever steer me wrong, and you never. But I thought it was like, again, it's just around. I'm still learning how to be more financially savvy. I still haven't got it yet. It doesn't come automatic like that for me. I need somebody. You're always a great person to remind me to do stuff like this. I don't know why. I just haven't quite got it yet, where it's just like, oh, you know, like, what are some of the the stuff that you can be doing, like free stuff that you can be doing that doesn't actually cost you an extra penny.
Yeah.
But you're a great reminder of that. So when you do bring that to my attention, I feel like you're great for me. You're like my blind spot. It was just like when you bring that to my attention, I'm like, yeah, I need to do that ASAP. And I like the last 2 ones that you sent me, I was just like, yeah, straight away. I was just like, no, I like that. I really do.
Yeah, have transparent conversations with
yes.
your friends.
That's why
about
we don't
money,
gossip.
I think. Yeah, no, we actually don't.
We actually don't
talk about.
We actually don't gossip at all.
Things that make sense.
Like it's always
Our
about
personal
life,
development, life, money.
Yeah,
like,
I've learned so much from Alex. Honestly, so much. And because that's what I said, our conversations for me personally have been so enriching, and I've seen how much I've grown, especially financially, over the last 18 to 2 years. Like I would have never had a conversation with that, and that's allowed me to have conversations with other people, like even my partner, and be like, "But we're not doing good. We are not doing good. Alex and her partner did this, that. We are lacking. We need to. I'm trying to be, on their financial way. So it's just like, but it's nice. It's really, really nice to have those conversations with people because, like I said, it's not about talking about nonsense. It's about these are life-changing things. 100%. And I will be thinking about you if I'm in a business class. I'm like, this is down to Alex.
You know what? I'm so glad that you said that you had that conversation with your partner and that obviously he's on board. Because some people are like, well, again, they're just stuck in their ways. And so I think it's nice when you speak to people because you're somebody that it's really easy to talk to about money. There's other people I kind of put feelers out and it's like, okay, no,
sis, respectfully.
No, red light. abort. They're not ready to talk about it yet. So that's the case. But I know that for me, like I make it no secret that I just keep my head down and try to do as best as I can with my money because I want to change my life for the best.
Absolutely.
So that means that there's certain things like I get asked all the time, when am I going to change my car? My car is fully paid for, It's not bad.
Speak on it.
It's not bad. My car's actually, when I got my car, everybody was hailing me, praising me. Oh, yeah. Now that same car, you want me to change it?
Yeah.
It's actually paid for. And this is another thing. Carrying debt upon debt upon debt. It's so normalized. Like, okay, well, you've come to the end of paying this car, go and get another. Yeah. And I was like, no, I made it my priority to pay that car off ahead of time. Yes. I paid it off 6 months ahead of time and slashed my interest. I can't remember how much but I was just paying it, extra every single month. And I was so happy to do it. Yeah. Again, like reframing my mind, like, oh my gosh, I'm getting myself out of this. Tangle basically, and then like you get to see your credit score go up because you've paid for this particular thing.
That's my next thing I want to do. Definitely be in a position to kind of pay off, because you're right. It's just a never-ending loop. You finish one finance, you start another finance, and you're right. It'll be great. That's definitely a life goal. Definitely be great to pay off for the car. At least have one less payment because bloody hell, it's normal now, but I'm just saying it is when you see it. Well, I don't even really see it come out of my account, to be fair, but it's just, it'd be nice to just have that. I always think, I'm like, oh, what would my credit score, what could thingy be like for me if I actually didn't even have a car?
Yeah, do you know what? That's so true.
Car payment.
It's one of those things where if you need a car, you need a car, and it's good to get a car that you can afford. I think that in my position, I haven't used my car as much. I mean, I'm starting to use it a little bit more now because I'm going into work a bit more frequently, but it just doesn't make sense at today. Now that might change in a couple of months' time. Yeah. God willing.
Yeah, because the way 2024 is happening right now. The way it's happening, yeah.
Exactly. And so if you see me in a new car, don't be like, oh, but she's change.
Keep quiet.
Okay.
Get your coins up, girl.
But for now, it's doing those things and pushing back on that pressure, like that people put on you, like, oh, why haven't you done this? Because it's very easy to fall into that. And I know that beforehand, I've never been somebody who kind of fell into the trap regarding like maybe designer stuff. That's not to say that I don't like it. Yeah. It's just, I wasn't gonna kill myself for that. But
designer bag.
Yeah, but certain things I feel like financially, things that were kind of expected of me, I did fall into that. It's kind of expected that you should have this, so trying to have that particular thing, and it's like, actually, No, I don't have to have it, and when I can afford it, then I will do it. And I always would advise people to make your financial decisions when you're ready, when you feel comfortable. You know, for example, home ownership. When you buy the house, it's not done and dusted.
Yeah.
You're just gonna keep pouring money into the house, so you need to make sure that you can afford it. With a car, you're not done and dusted. You're always gonna be paying money towards that car.
Yeah, things can happen on the road. Can you know, like if you've got like a, I don't know, like a £80,000 car, you know, where one wheel costs, I don't know, £800. Is that something that you can afford just like that? So it's just those things that you take on.
Let's talk about wheel prices, because wheel prices are not cheap.
And
you might need to change 2 at a time. So ask yourself, can you afford this car?
Yeah.
Don't follow somebody. There's times when I've done things and I say, don't follow me if you know you can't afford it. Like,
trust.
Don't. Let's not play this game.
Yeah.
For me to be able to do something, I weighed up the pros and cons.
Yeah. And I'm comfortable.
And that's why I'm doing this thing. Yeah. Do not follow me.
No, absolutely. I'm not your age mate.
Yeah, I'm not your mate.
I'm not your mate.
I'm not your mate. You don't know how many points I've accrued. Or you don't know the points I used in order to pay for this particular thing. It's true.
This is what I'm saying, right? You see it from the outside in. You said you don't know.
Yeah. You
don't know. So it's just like I said about, like, even in a previous episode when we talked about the home ownership, the Help to Buy ISA that we used. I said, well, that's helped towards some of our we've saved money in terms of our furniture costs. So when you be like, oh my God, that's a nice thingy.
It was the government.
It was
the government contributed.
It was Mr. Rishi himself.
Yeah. No, it's so
you
true.
know, and I'm not thinking about saying stuff like that. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like, oh my God, you know, everything. You know, we had help. Deserved help.
And there's nothing wrong with receiving help as well. There's nothing wrong
from
with
this government. You don't get
wrong.
anything anyway. So what you can get, try. What you can get,
take it out 110%. So yeah, if I was to start all over again, I'd say upskill. Get as much money as you possibly can in a role. If you're in a role and you can't make that much money, you need to move somewhere else. Put in a plan what you're going to do, how long is that going to take you. And set up your direct debits.
Set up your direct debits
and write something, you know, on the direct debit that encourages you. Well done, you did this. Future millionaire. You know, whatever it is that's going to encourage you.
Absolutely.
To keep going and to remind yourself to say no to other things, because there's always enticing, oh, we should do this, we should do that, and that's nice. But if you know you've got big goals, then you're going to need to learn how to say no to those things. And, you know, eventually over time, once you start to, you will see that, okay, this month I saved £100, now I've got 200, and then, you know, it's compounding, and you get to 1,000, you see your journey like, wow, in 10 months or in a year, I was able to save this fund. A year ago, I didn't have this, and now I do. So celebrate your wins when you do that, whenever you, and get into the good habits of reframing your mind in all things in life that are good for you. Whenever you eat a good meal, you move your body. Whenever you say no to something that you know is not going to be good for you. Whenever you save money and invest your money, more importantly, like, that's a reward. That's the reward that we're looking for. And make sure that, you know, do what you can to release the endorphins in any which way that you possibly can. So that's what I would say. And in terms of what I would say to myself now, or what I'm doing now to make my future self proud regarding money, it is saying, okay, do you know what? Thinking about, what would I do if I was a millionaire? What would I do if I was you know, this financial decision I'm about to make, would the richer version of myself have made this same decision? Do you know what I mean? Like, what decisions do I need to make today in order for me to get to being that person? Because I didn't come into this life to live a life of mediocrity. I truly believe that. And so it does take some sacrifice. It does take some you know, in
Sleep
some
on it.
periods, sometimes of isolation.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's things that I've had to say no to because
Absolutely.
I am busy focusing on trying to level myself up.
100%.
And I'm really grateful for that. And I know that where that's going to take me. And sometimes people don't understand that, and that's okay. I understand it,
They're
and
not
it
on
will
the
all
same
make sense
journey.
when it all plays out.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
why for me it's just so important as well, just not to watch anybody else.
100%.
Be focused on your lane. It's so funny because you know, growing up you see so many people and, you know, going on these fancy holidays, 3-4 holidays and everything like that, living a thingy life, and you're
then
looking
credit
and you're
card
like,
debt like I
yeah.
was.
No, not you. No way. You were young, girl. I'm talking about
Grown,
people,
okay,
grown
yeah,
people
yeah.
who should have some sort of literacy.
Yeah.
But yeah, just looking. Sometimes when you're looking from the outside, you know, you're thinking, oh my God, you know, and you're thinking, you're doubting yourself as to say like, oh, why am I not living that type of lifestyle or whatever? And it's just remaining focused. You know what your end goal is, and your end goals sometimes don't come in months or a few years. Sometimes they take a long time, but you will get them. It's hard work. It is hard work, and it's about sacrifice sometimes.
Yeah.
The sacrifice part of financing is probably the hardest thing, or saying no to certain things, or like you're saying, do you really need £500 trainers? Like, is that something like, what is that going to, what, I know the feeling I personally get when I send money to saving versus when I buy something unnecessarily expensive. Like it's just too completely, because you're looking at, for me, those trainers are the right now, and I'm always looking at towards the future. What's that money going to do for me later? Not what's the latest trend that's costing me so much money. So just remain focused, and I think that will kind of help you. I'm not saying you shouldn't get treats along the way. You should absolutely, if you can, afford to get yourself some treats, just to say, well done. I do believe in treating yourself. You know, you work hard, you should do, but it's just around, you know, don't let it be at the sacrifice of a longer term goal.
I agree. It should be, there's other ways that you can treat yourself. You can treat yourself in ways, again, you know, for example, if you have the credit cards, points, you could use those to treat yourself. If you have a high interest savings account, or if you have, you know, one of those stocks and shares ISAs, and you've made, you know, a certain amount, you've made some money, you could take that dividend out and use that to spend that was money that you made. So I think that doing things like that is nice. It's like, wow, this was free money. I didn't work for this money.
Basically,
but
that's what I'm about.
To spend it on myself, basically, right? Free money, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. This was basically gifted from God.
Yeah, I was rewarded for being smart with my money.
Exactly. God said you will chop today.
Yeah, 100%. So I love that, guys. What are you going to do? Like we said, we've given you a two-parter. Wow, that's how important money is for everybody this year. We want to see how you are going to hit your financial goals this year. Are you somebody who's always been financially savvy? Who did you learn your financial savviness from? And what are you going to do in order to pass on that information to the people around you as well? So please, we want to know all of the things that you do in terms of your money. Is there any tips that you can share with us? Listen, I'm always open to learning.
100%. And me too.
Please, anywhere that I can put my money that's going to turn me into an overnight millionaire, or
send it now.
Because the power of compound interest is so beautiful.
Send it now. God will give you your blessings. If you've got a referral where you put a referral in and then you get 10% back or whatever, like share it. Share it with people in the comments. Like that's as well, you're making money through that as well. If you've got a referral link, send it. I love a referral link.
Any brand new financial advice that you want to share with us, absolutely great. So we're looking forward to hearing from you guys. Until the next time, which will be very, very soon, we shall see you. Take care. Bye.
Bye.